Hey, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today talking about WWE, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. We'd already had talks basically that they were going to be doing SummerSlam as Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for the WWE Universal Championship. Trying to make the Universal Championship more of a upfront thing that's going to be shown on WWE Monday Night Raw. I can honestly tell you that this lull of no Brock Lesnar on TV honestly reminds me a lot of the last time Brock Lesnar was champion on the run into WrestleMania 31, where he was cashed in against Seth Rollins. It was almost like that year from September until January. There was no WWE champion, and that's sort of what is going down with WWE Monday Night Raw right now. Brock has showed up. He's leading up into the match with Samoa Joe at Great Balls of Fire, but we haven't seen Brock in a long time, and when we do, it's only here and there along the way. I know that he's not a main event guy that's going to be on television each and every week like a Roman Reigns or a Seth Rollins. He's a guy that is brought in as a special attraction, a lot like Andre the Giant was back in the day, and that's a little bit hard for us to wrap our head around, because when you watch the Attitude Era, the big stars of that day, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, those were guys that were there almost each and every week, and if they weren't there, there was a real reason for them to be there, other than they were just sitting at home, just waiting for their time to come back. We have a match at Great Balls of Fire, which is going to be an ambulance match. That's Braun Strowman against Roman Reigns. The winner is going to be going up against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. This is the match that honestly could go either way. We made videos in the past in the archives basically saying that Braun Strowman was the guy that was going to get tapped to get the win and go on to SummerSlam and face Brock Lesnar to be a monster versus monster match. I honestly, as of this time right now, think that a lot of guys have gone up against Brock Lesnar and failed to get the win. But to me, honestly, Braun going into this match losing to Brock would sort of be killing a monster, a lot like how they built up Stinsky back in the day. Stinsky had a big match against John Cena and then was never seen from ever really again. I know that you can always just put Braun back into the reincarnation of the Wyatts that they've done 1,000 times, it seems like, and with Bray, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper becoming a foursome again, all would be forgiven. That's not going to help Bray, it's not going to help Eric Rowan, it's not going to help Luke Harper, and it's not going to help Braun Strowman. I'm not saying that match is a horrible idea, but it looks like that at Great Balls of Fire, they're going to be ended up having Roman Reigns get the win, and then sort of changing up the foreseeable future of WWE with Roman Reigns going up against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam and not happening at WrestleMania 34. There's a few different things that would be going down. Basically, they could have changed, because word got out last week that the WrestleMania main event was going to be Roman versus Brock, a match that we haven't seen since WrestleMania 31. And then when it comes down to it, we never really saw it, because Seth Rollins came down and turned the match into a three-way, just like when Seth beat Brock and Brock wanted his revenge. We never even really got to see Seth versus Brock because of the fact that The Undertaker showed up at the end. So those are matches that were sort of saved for a later day, and here they are waiting to be cashed in, and you get somebody like me basically saying, I don't know what they're doing. I think that honestly, I didn't think that Roman versus Brock was a big WrestleMania 34 main event. I don't really want to see Roman go into the main event of WrestleMania as that guy that people love to hate, and see the guy who's going to be beating the final boss of a video game getting booed. It doesn't really feel like we accomplished anything at WrestleMania. I know that we talk about this all the time. 1,000 other things happen at WrestleMania. That's why people go to WrestleMania. That's why people go on the WrestleMania trip. But WrestleMania should always be in your top 5 things that you did and top 5 things that you got to see. There should be that memorable moment, and sometimes the memorable moments at WrestleMania happen in the undercard, but I think that the ending of WrestleMania should be an exclamation point that you should remember. Not like WrestleMania 32 when Roman beat Triple H and everybody booed him on the way out of the building, hoping to show up to Monday Night Raw and boo him again. And I know that Triple H, like at WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 16, he won the championship, and that ended the long reign of the babyface winning at WrestleMania and giving you that big feel of getting the big win, you know, because your team's never supposed to lose the Super Bowl. You're supposed to always walk away happy, especially with WWE trying to make WrestleMania the biggest pay-per-view that we buy each and every year. You know, I think that a few things in WWE could be happening. We could be seeing finally the change coming, maybe in my eyes, hoping that Triple H is slowly inching into that Booker job and pushing Vince out of the way, getting it in his ear that we're building these guys up from NXT, and you can't have these guys from NXT just taking over the undercard of WrestleMania. You need these guys to be the future of WWE. They took a big chance with Finn Balor winning the championship and basically his debut match at SummerSlam last year. I would love to see them capitalize that on Finn Balor becoming the guy in WWE and seeing Finn Balor be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania this year. I'm not sure what the change would be, but that's my hope for what the change would be in the future. So I'm hoping that we're going to see Brock versus Roman, and I don't really want to see Brock win, but then I want to see Brock hold that championship until WrestleMania, even though I know I will complain about it. But at least now there's talks of the guys that were in that Fatal 5-Way at the last pay-per-view all getting shots, so at least having matches against Joe, you know, a match against Rollins and the other guys that were in there, they sound like they're going to be fun matches. So maybe if Brock will appear on more pay-per-views, it'll be a more fun time in WWE, leading us up to Balor maybe winning the Rumble, and then Balor beating Brock come WrestleMania. But then again, maybe Balor needs to have that time where he is the #1 contender, doesn't get the job done. Then he has to win the Rumble to get that other chance. So a lot of fun things that could be happening in the future, but you can see WWE shaking the deck. Roman versus Brock at SummerSlam.